Hey guys, so I'm Emily Grace. Today we're going to be working on a centerpiece for our dinner with friends. I've gathered up all of my supplies here. What I have are some really pretty roses. I have some Peruvian lilies, some stock, which is one of my favorites, hydrangea, garden roses, some mums, and some freesia, which smell amazing, by the way, as well as some greens that will just help the colors to pop a little bit. We're using a low centerpiece because it's a dinner with friends. You kind of want to keep the centerpiece a little lower so that conversation isn't inhibited. So I'm going to show you how to make a tape grid to work with the flowers and keep them in order. And yeah, let's get started. We've already started it. It's basically just what it sounds like. You have tape that you stretch across the top. I used 2 different kinds of tape just so you can kind of see what it is I'm doing here. You want to keep it short because obviously you don't want the tape down on the sides of the bowl. But you can, if it does go down there, you can always wrap a pretty ribbon around it or do something else to sort of hide it. There's always a way to make things look like you meant them to look that way. So when you have all of your flowers together, obviously you need to prepare them for the actual centerpiece, which means cutting them down to size, and not in a bad way. You're gonna get your roses, and this is fairly common knowledge, but you just wanna make sure that you cut them on an angle. Try not to use scissors, only because a lot of times when you cut with scissors, it actually squeezes the center together so the water doesn't get up as easy, and it will pinch the waterway closed. So a knife is the way to go. Cut it on the angle like that. Okay, so next I'm going to be cutting down this hydrangea. Now, as you probably know, hydrangea have a very thick stem, a woody stem. And when it comes to anything with a thicker stem like this, what you need to do is ensure that it's getting enough water. So once you cut it on the diagonal, you're going to cut a slit down the center, and you're going to just smash the end a little bit and pull off any extra little pieces that might dirty up your water a little bit. And once it's smashed down like this, basically it just allows the hydrangea to suck up a good bit more water while it's actually in the arrangement. So the other thing to remember with hydrangea is the first part of the word hydra actually indicates that this is one of the flowers. Hydra obviously meaning water. This is one flower that you can actually perk up by squirting the petals and not just by putting it in water. So if your hydrangea are ever looking a little peaked, just give them a good spritz of water on the flowers, on the face of the flowers, and they actually perk right up. So we've cut down all of our flowers at this point, done the diagonal cut at the bottom here and stripped down off all the leaves. Also, if you have roses, just some people like to spread them out just a little bit. Obviously you want to do it kind of gently, but it'll open it up a little bit just so that you can see it a little bit better. So now we're going to just start filling in our grid here. I like to start with hydrangeas just because they kind of take up a nice big old space and they give you something to work with. I like to do 3 in 3 different sides. They also kind of cover up your tape. Remember we were talking about that? So now we kind of have a nice base to work with here, right? Now I'm going to start moving color into different areas. Obviously I tried to do a lot of pink here. We're doing sort of a navy and fuchsia theme. Now in general, when you're working on any kind of arrangement, if it's for a centerpiece on a table, you kind of want to get a good bit of symmetry in there. That's not true always with all, like if you have a buffet centerpiece or anything like that, but if it's going on a table and people are going to be looking at it from different angles, you want it to be a bit symmetrical. So a lot of times when you're in the middle of working on it, you just need to step back and take a look at the overall shape that it's taking on, and you basically want it to resemble sort of a bit of a dome. And just move stuff around. You can use stems to sort of hold things in place. I'm going to start tucking some of these in. You may find that you need slightly shorter ones or longer ones, depending on where you're working. You can always cut them down like we talked about before. And the great thing about flower arranging is they're flowers, they look pretty. No matter how you stick them in there, they're gonna look pretty in the end. So just work at your own pace, play with things, move things around. So as you can see, here's our finished product. It is, for the most part, even on every side. There's a good color variation in there, but you can see the pops of pink and of green. I put a ribbon around the bottom of it just to hide some of the inside, but you don't have to. Some people will use leaves and put them around the edges of the glass bowl to kind of give it a green finished product look, but I kind of like being able to see the stems and having a little of the unfinished look there. So, and then with all the things that I didn't use, I just put together some sweet little side arrangements that will go at each person's place setting. So it just kind of spreads the flowers across the table and gives you a very complete, full look. So there you go. That's our flower arrangement for the day. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you.